Hey guys, Rabbit here, and welcome back to another Starcraft Broodwar Remastered cast. Today is a tournament game from the NWL League between our red Protoss, Surikata, and our blue Terran, Manadog. We are recording live today on Twitch. This is part of the Set of the Day segment. So each of these games will be uploaded individually onto my YouTube channel. But the viewers, and including one of the players, Surikata, is actually with me today in chat, which I think is quite cool. It gives us a chance to hear some of his thoughts on the games, questions, comments, which adds a nice dynamic. I'm Rabbit. I cast Starcraft Broodwar games twice a week, so if you enjoy that kind of thing, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And yeah, that's it. Let's have some fun. We're here live on Twitch. We're recording some Starcraft, and we're having a good time. So we're on Eclipse, which is the map very well known for shenanigans. So it looks like Surikata is sending his probe down in time to do the gas steal, which has become so normal now. I think we're all pretty desensitized to it. So I've got absolutely no concerns that Manadog will know exactly how to respond when this does happen. There are various ways. You see gases expands, you see a double racks and a bit of bio pressure. So let's see what he does. So he throws down his barracks at the standard timing. Here comes Suri's probe. He'll do the pathing like this to be subtle about something not very subtle. Gas stolen, and then he'll just continue now to scout and or harass with his probe. Behind this, he's just throwing down his gateway. I'm sure he'll progress to a fairly standard build. He hasn't done a... there are variations to the gas steal where you take a Nexus first with a Forge to cover any marine counterplay. The gateway will tend to indicate that maybe one or two zealots will be popping out to put in some pressure. Here's the first one along the way. And then the pylon goes down to make room to continue with your worker production. And then I expect we will see gas, cybernetics core, and the usual sort of build. Perhaps two zealots will come down, and depending on how much value Suri feels he gets from the use of the first one. So I think this is a very nice SimCity, good setup. Terran players play on Eclipse all the time. They were so happy when it was announced that Season 11 would also have Eclipse in it. The Terran players around the world are having a big party to celebrate. So they know exactly what needs to be done when it comes to blocking the zealots once you have your gas stolen. It's become something that you just need to know to do as a Terran player, or you don't survive in today's map pool, which is still very much in love with Eclipse. Okay, so core is on the way. We've stopped with our zealot production. We're not looking to expand as of yet. I think that it's just a little bit of patience on this side. A gasless expansion is the response, and I think the reason why he's gone with the gasless expansion response is because he's just seen it's one gateway. I can hold that. I'm not too stressed about it. And so we go. Hello! What is that? Camozota. Okay, sorry, my chat is on a phone and my eyes are bad. I sincerely apologize, but welcome to the stream. Everybody who was watching saw your name flash up except me, so I'm the dope who's left guessing. But it's so nice to have you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you're just joining us on a live cast of our set of the week. We're in game 2, Suri versus Manadog, and these two like big fights and big macro games. So there is a lot of excitement to look forward to here. Okay, so we've got one gate. We've got the gas for range. We haven't started it yet. We're going to start it now. We're going to go robo first. Robo before gas, before range. Interesting. Okay, so if I have to compare the opens, I actually like it for Terran, because the gas steal didn't result in any real damage. He's got his bunker up, he's even on workers, but his command center is finished, so his macro is stronger, he's in a better position macroeconomically. He's progressing with his build, getting up his factory now, so the only delay from his side will be getting units out onto the field, but I don't think you'll have too much of a challenge holding any initial pressure. He's going to have to do the repair on the bunker for a little while. It's got the eBay there in case it's the cheesy DT follow-up, which is sometimes used when we do the gas steal as Protoss players. But it looks like we're just progressing into Reavers. There's definitely going to be some shuttles involved. They're either going to be very fast shuttles that are dropping Templars, or they are going to be Reavers doing Reavery things. So that is a variation. I've not seen Suri play with Reavers yet in PvT. So that's something quite excited to look forward to. So Manadog's safe. He's safe against DTs. If he's built a turret in his main, in his mineral line, then he's really got some experience in understanding what some of the things that Protoss can do. This turret here will also help for any potential drop harassment that he's potentially anticipating as well. And he's got one here as well. So you can see this is solid StarCraft. Players that are experienced, that know the kinds of harassments and dramas that Protoss can put them through, and is preparing accordingly. Okay, so our observatory's coming up. We're building a third. The one advantage that Protoss does gain from the gas steal is that it is very, very difficult for Terran to have vultures with mines out on the map. So you can expand without any fear of being harassed by vultures or needing to worry about clearing any minefields, which is helpful. Okay, so Ronald the Reaver has arrived. What are we going to do with Ronald the Reaver is the big question. Is Sally the Shuttle? Yes, okay, so Sally the Shuttle is also coming. So we're going to have shuttles, we're going to have Reavers. We're going to have to see if these guys can micro. It is very hard to do. Some players make it look incredibly easy, but it's something that I can certainly tell you is not easy to do. I'm always excited to see players try and do hard things and execute them well. It's just something that if you have an admiration of and try to play this game, is very enjoyable. So we're going to chuck in our 2 Zealots. They will normally soak up any tank shots for the initial drop so that the Reavers can then be pumped into the mineral line and do economic harassment or damage. So that's the plan. Let's see how the execution goes. So the scouting engineering bay is here for exactly this purpose, to give Terran a heads up that the shuttle can come in from this angle. And the vulture, well, there's nothing positioned here except this tank, who's in a position to potentially pick up any units that come in from this angle. So this looks like the angle Suri's chosen. So let's see, although this vulture sees the shuttle, which I think means that some units will move this way. When does he move them? Starport's on the way. Here it comes. Here it comes. Drops the zealots, drops the zealots. Oh, the Reavers made it! The Reavers! Oh! Ouch! Oh! How many did he get? I can't see because he's building scarabs. I think he got... He's still busy. Yeah, he easily got 10 PCBs. Mission accomplished. And behind that he's taken his third. That was good harassment. Nicely done. Alright, so in terms of our tech tree, our Stargate is down. Are we going carriers? No. There's our Temple Archives, so it looks like arbiters again. Carriers is quite common on Eclipse because of the terrain, but it doesn't look like we're doing carriers, at least not yet. Roman, you are not E rank. You are good. Sorry, a player in the chat that I cast earlier telling me that he's E rank. No ways. He's just too good. He played well though. No, I think Elevation as well was saying you a really strong player, and we very much enjoyed going through your reviews. That's what we do here on Twitch. We go through all of the players from various tournaments in the foreign Brood War scenes replays. We chat about them, we hang out, we have fun. If that's something you'd like to do, then there are links to my Twitch channel below in the description, so by all means, enjoy. Okay, that probe died. Rip. One thing I really admire about Manadog's play is his vulture and mine placement. Gives him so much information. It cuts off your passages as a Protoss player to move your units around freely. It's really very, very, very solid. Okay, we believe you. Only because you're so determined to make us believe. Okay, so we're in a little bit of a quiet patch. I would say at this stage, probably quite even, maybe with a small edge to Terran. He's got his workers, he's got his macro going, supplies are pretty even, although I'm expecting Suri's macro to explode shortly, where we will see an explosion of gateways. We're only on 5? And we're doing the Protoss. I'm so tired of having to get supply blocked all the time, so I'm going to build 27 pylon move. We've all done that. And then I think once he's done this, his gateway explosion will commence, and his macro will start. Arbiters are on the way, so I'm expecting a pretty patient move out, slowly getting his observers into the right place to clear minefields, and to find an angle. Try, because this is sort of, I'll zoom out briefly, this is sort of the area where the engagements, if the Protoss wants to put the pressure on, will occur. So some units will come down from this angle, although the terrain split does make that a little bit unideal. Or they come down from here, but if they come down from here, you can't get the width that you want to get on the engagement, so your units tend to then come down a bit of a conga line. So it looks like he's going to choose option 2 and come down here. And so Manadog, in preparation for expanding and taking his third first and foremost, and getting in position to take this engagement, is already preparing, laying his mines. He may build a depot here and there to block some of the unit pathing. So those who have watched a lot of games on Eclipse, especially PvT, or played a lot, this is where a lot of the action happens. Oopsie. There we go. So for those of you who don't know, F6 restores you to the normal view, something I've been learning in the mastering of the remastered client. F5 turns you to the old graphics. Ugh, that was hideous. Okay, so Suri's preparing to take another base. He loses Dragoon to 1 mine, which is super tilting as a Protoss player. You kind of find the maths on that being a bit dubious, because on other days, 1 Zealot can trip 4 mines and still walk away. So somebody must teach me that one. Okay, so third is up. Suri's positioning himself to take a 4th. Both players are being quite patient. I think Manadog is creeping more and more forward with his vultures to get as much of an early warning as he could want. I think the only thing that I would wanted him to have done earlier on in the game, he actually left the vulture there. Sneaky. I was going to say have vultures in position, or at least mines in position for these bottom 2, because there's not a lot of bases on this map. There's this one, there's one in the corner here, there's this one, and there's one in the corner there. So if as a Terran player, if you put mines in all the bases that can be acquired, then you have a very good preemptive view of what the expansion pattern of the Protoss is going to be, and when rip Mr. Science Vessel. Did you get your MP off at least? Can't click on the damn Arbiter. Yes, you did. Well done. Yes, so job done. Okay, so the depot is there as expected. The mines are there. The army's in position. Is he going to pull the trigger with 1 Energyless Arbiter? I don't think he will, because that will be RIP for Protoss. I think he's going to chill here until he can get another Arbiter with more energy. And he's going to use this as an opportunity to establish that 4th base. So he does have the mines and the vultures here. This is a more common 4th base location for Protoss. And this is just chilling. So some counterplay that I think would be very good for Terran here would be a drop, because Protoss has positioned their entire army in a forward position. Doesn't have much to defend any potential drops. So some vulture drops or tank drops on one of the expansions could do some serious damage. Okay, we want the depot. Okay, so this is a nightmare for Protoss. Trying to clear the minefield Yeah, so this Dragoon is like, I don't want to live. Okay, well there you go, you got what you wanted. Okay, so this base is up, but not saturated. I think if there was a place to transfer workers from, it would certainly be his main. There's a lot of probes here mining inefficiently. But I think he's been focusing on getting himself ready. This is going to be a throw. Unless you can stasis these tanks at the back. This line is so deep. These vultures are buffering. You're going to lose all your shit. Run away, Mr. Protoss. Oh, that's a nice stasis though. But there's still good buffering. And you've got no zealots. Run. Run. Very nice. Very nice there from Terran. He needs to pull back his vultures. I think he's trying to relay some mines. But Protoss hasn't quite run away with its tail between its legs. It's just pulled back to this position. And this is why Manadog's just scanned to confirm where he is. These tanks will come out of stasis shortly. We still don't have a worker transfer here. Come on, Suri! Get your workers across! What is he doing? Oh, this water's so pretty. Look, a goldfish. There we go. Good chap. Okay, so he's getting those across. Ah, sleeping workers over here. Starcraft hard game, man. Too much multitasking. So he's got so much money now that he could take the other bases on the map. And I think that's potentially an opportunity, although Manadog's got so much supply. The risk, of course, of Protoss is if you double expand now and Terran moves out, you're in a world of pain. I think that's probably the right move, though, is for Manadog to move out. It's like, my life is so shit. Just sit here all day, staring at water. I could have made nexuses. I could have been a big thing. But my commander sent me here to stare at the water, and I don't know why. Okay, so we are moving around. We've got some nice saturation here. We're not on gas, which, considering the amount of arbiters we're making, we might want to change. He's expanding here, which is exactly what I was hoping he would do as a not so subtle Protoss supporter that I am. Terran has snuck this base here, which I think is brilliant. I don't even think Protoss would have expected that at this stage. Neither player can kill the other player. This is where Protoss becomes where Starcraft becomes a game of patience. Like, what do you do? Just set yourself up so that you can't lose and wait for your opponent to make a mistake, and then you can win. More worker transfers. But is the idle worker here? Is he going to join his friends? Is he going to have... Nope. Cheers, dude! Enjoy the water! That wasn't nice. Key to the probe was very mean to pull the other probe. Alright, let's see. We're attacking here, and there are unsieged tanks. This is one of those where Manadog was gearing up to move out. Protoss was right place, right time. That is a vicious stasis. Ow! And here they come. Big fights. Big fights. Come on, vultures. Get on your bikes, lads. Go help. Oh man, this is one hell of a fight. Not enough. Maybe too few zealots. I think he would be well served having a couple more zealots here. If these come out of stasis though, these goons are in for a world of pain. I think Suri could move through here. Move into the natural maybe, or put some pressure over here. Oh, ow. Okay, no. Upper ramp, Dragoon, dead. Okay, so he's surrounding here nicely. This is good. Oh, okay, so these tanks are still unsieged. Oh, this is an epic fight. Did he stasis again? Or does stasis just last that long? Oh my god, that must be so tilting. Unfreeze, damn it! Okay, so somehow Terran is still standing here, and Suri isn't quite sure which way to push. I think he's like, num 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 num. Look at all these tanks. Num 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 num. They must be killed. And I think that's the right call. If I know Suri though, he's gonna find a way to lose his arbiters. Arbiters are so annoying. They just run off and do stupid shit. Okay, so Manadog is held. He's retreated to the high ground, save his natural. And he's got these 2 tanks here, which will just shoot conga line units for days. I think the only way to really break their base would be a recall. That might be on the mind. I don't know if you've researched recall yet. You may have done. We're 20 minutes into the game. Another worker transfer. He's gone! He stopped looking at the water. He'd have finally found a job. Very happy for you, buddy. Oh, man. I think you got all of them with 1 EMP. Where's Artosis to tell me that spell's broken? Where is he? I want to show him that. Got 1 EMP, got all 3 Arbiters energy. That is boss. So we're like, you know what? I don't need energy. I will just run, zealots. Oh man, Manadog has weathered so many storms. His gas is really low. He's mining here. Got some idle SCV, so he needs another base. He's got no income in 2 bases. He needs to move his workers. He's got 2 here. He just needs to do a worker transfer. I think he was probably waiting to weather the storm of all the fights. Although Suri's maxed out again, so he must just send. Just send them, boys. Just send them. Although he seems to be now maybe planning for a recall with these units all clumped up. Let's wait and see. Please do a worker transfer. You got this one. You would have 2 beautifully saturated mining bases. Oh, and this base here, of course, as well. Observers flying in. He scanned and he killed 2 of them. Nicely done. Arbiters are parked off here. Arbiters are like babysitters. They're like, alright, goons, zealots, you with me. Let's go. No, no, zealots, goons, you went the wrong way. Oh, man. Some goons have just got no discipline. We call those dead goons. Oh, the carriers have arrived. I missed the switch. Something that happens so often in a late game PvT, especially on elevation. Especially on eclipse, because of the elevations on the terrain, etc. Carriers are so good, and so here we go. He's got Goliath though, so he scouted it, he scanned it. He was expecting it. Oh, this is not good. Carrier micro, I don't think you're supposed to fight so close to the Goliaths. I'm hopeless at this myself, but I think that's the theory. I'm one of those theoretical parts. Like, that's how it should be done. Don't ask me to show you, but I can tell you. Those who can't do cost. That's my philosophy. This is a cracking fight. What a game. Earlier we had a stasis-based ground fight that was absolute cracker. Now we're like, well, screw that. Now we're going to get some carriers in here. And, ooh, carriers are dying. Not manipulating, like, some of the terrain that you can use on this map. So it's sustaining too many body shots, so he pulls away. There we go. So we are transitioning into a different phase, the carrier phase. This is an SCV. He's also like, this is Sam the SCV, and he's had to come and look at the Tree of Gondor. That was his assignment. Alright, so let's see here. We're picking off these SCVs that have been sleeping here for a long time, so maybe that will be their punishment for not being transferred. Still have very few here. We still have none here, although we've just done a transfer here. So one thing I think Manadog has struggled with in this game is to maintain his base saturation, although he's moving, and those have the color, the fiery color of a mineral patch on their backsides, so that's good news for them. This is good. So this is the idea with the carrier macro. Just get it in. Cold coffee. Yum. That's when your games go 20 minutes longer than you expect them to. And you get to enjoy some yummy cold coffee. The struggle is real. This is, I think, 6 carriers, which you would need 12 to 18 Goliaths to comfortably deal with. So I don't think Protoss has got critical mass here. I'm more optimistic for Terran now because his base saturation is sorted out. His upgrades are probably full, 3, and then I think 2 on the plating. And so he knows what composition he needs. This is a hybrid-ish strategy, although Zealots are not so good against Goliaths. Your Dragoons are pretty good against Goliaths. So we aren't doing the old... Oh my god, look at these tanks. And like, we can't fight against carriers. So we are going to go and kill bases on the ground while we still can. See, he's only... Okay, so he's got 9. It's not enough. He's got so many Goliaths here. They can just keep eating the interceptors. It's chowing minerals as well. What happened to all those tanks? Ah, there you are. So he's moved his tanks in position to protect against harassment up here, which I think is a good call. Some of them in tank mode, which should clean these zealots up. Quick. Okay, so there's 2 little skirmishes. This is the Goliaths having their way with these carriers. Just when they can get the direct shots off, they're just really strong. What are his carrier upgrades? So he's got 0, 0, 0, and then does the interceptor get an upgrade? +2. Okay, so he's got +2 on those. My understanding is if you're gonna go carriers, you do need to have strong upgrades in place. Okay, so it's a Zealot carrier composition, which is a little bit unusual. I think what I'm used to watching if Protoss goes carriers is not a bunch of Zeratools to pop up all of a sudden, but for it to be a Dragoon carrier build as opposed to a Zealot carrier build. Because the carrier is supposed to take care of the tanks for you, and then the goons are supposed to take care of the Goliaths for you. That's at least the theory, the way I understand it. Here we have a Terran base in a lot of trouble. And we're trying to come up a ramp against the wall. The science vessel should give us the vision, and the tank should do the rest. Okay, so now it's base denial. Coming up here to kill this. Or does he bring his units down here to defend this? So he's doing a bit of both. So his carriers are going to wipe this out. That'll be a piece of cake. And Zealots are going to fight these Goliaths. Now let's test my theory that Goliaths just shred Zealots. That's a lot of dead noises. I haven't seen a single Goliath die. Yeah. It's kind of like fighting Zealots. It's kind of like fighting Hydralisks with Zealots. Just rip them. So the correct composition there is goons. But the dang meddling carriers are here, and they are wiping out Terran's precious sources of income, which is seriously painful. Okay, so we've got 11 carriers. That is a lot. So Manadog has actually simplified his strategy in this game quite a lot. He's just gone Goliath tank. So he's building 2 units out of his factories all the time, and that's it. I think where Suri's potentially losing this game is he's not built any Dragoons, he only built Zealots. And now he's building Dragoons. But I don't know if it's going to be enough, because eventually he's going to have to engage head-on with all of these Goliaths. Science vessels there, so those Dark Templars. I mean, Dark Templars are just slower Zealots if you've got detection. And therefore, again, a little bit of a weird contribution to this. He's just got too much mech power here, man. Let's look at these bases going. Manadog's fighting to re-establish this one. Where's his income? Nothing. Nothing. One base. It still needs to have some workers put on it. Nothing. So you've got the income problem for Terran. You've got the unit composition problem for Protoss, and also their worker count. Considering you've got 1, 2, 3, although these bases are quite low. 3 mining bases. Soon to be 4. Could maybe have 1 or 2 more workers. Yeah, I guess this direct fight, there's just too many Goliaths. And now he's got the goons, but unfortunately the tank counters are so high, and the overall mech counters are so high. That's it. Rip. This is really close. Really, really, really close. This is not going to hold. He's going to take the space. When Protoss runs out of money and they've got an interceptor strategy or a carrier strategy, they need minerals to keep building interceptors. Otherwise, carriers literally become useless. They become empty vessels. So killing the income here for Terran is basically GG. This was his only healthy base. This is not established yet. This is very low. This is also very low. It's a matter of time before he runs out of money to keep rebuilding interceptors. In fact, his income is already so low. So Manadog has absorbed so much pressure. And I think he's going to pull this one out of the bag. Should Protoss get Storm? It's not really going to help you against so many Goliaths. I think Protoss missed a trick a little bit earlier where they built Zealots instead of goons. Now I think it's one of those scenarios where Terran is just too strong. So it's just a matter of time before you lose. Okay, so we've got Archons. I think he's doing that to spend his gas. Got a huge gas bank, so make the Archons. They were not going to... It's like Hydras against Archons, or Goliaths. It's just they're going to evaporate. Okay, so he did do Storm. He was obviously listening to you, Elevation. But didn't achieve much against this pretty powerful... it's just a matter of critical mass. At a certain point, too much is just too much. So we're sending out more and more High Templars. I think it's just like I say, as a means to spend your gas as opposed to anything else. And I think Terran are now gearing up for the killing blow. When Protoss runs out of money here, all Terran needs to do is establish this base, and it's the game. They've got 3 probes saturating this, and that worker transfer is a long ass way. To move all the way from here up to here, it's gonna be hard. Okay, so pressuring these bases when they're about to run out of cash, probably not necessary, but at the same token it drags Protoss's carriers away from wherever they are at the moment, which is just sort of camping at home. Which means these bases can be killed now without any real resistance. If your Protoss, is there any point to resist? Probably not. I think just assemble your last stand at your natural and just wait for Terran to come. The thing that I would maybe be doing if I was Protoss is sending my carriers and my Archons back to this base, which is I think exactly what he's about to do now. Okay, so that's gonna die. There's no resilience. He's not sending any units. Sending his Archons because he's got so much gas. And whatever he could basically afford to make, he's keeping his carriers behind. Isn't he? No, here they come. So he's sending the boys to take this base. He just storms for good measure. Alright, so lots of dying SCVs. Problem is, Terran is relatively unopposed in killing these bases. Okay, so he pulls away. Terran still has the army advantage, but has literally now got no income. He'd have to float a command center, I think, to make money. Protoss is now establishing a base here. I think this is a nexus, so this damn carrier will move. Yeah, I can see it in the production tab. So I think Terra knows exactly where his energy needs to go. Should be to block this and this. So it's going to be, as most long StarCraft matches always tend to become, a game about income, bases, base denial, final sources of income being denied or destroyed. So this fight here is going to be about Protoss trying to re-establish these bases and Terran denying it. So if you get his Goliaths down the hill, these Archons are toast. He's got 4 carriers left, but no money for interceptors. So Terran, the time is now. Let's move these boys down. Get this done. Okay, so he's consolidating the forces. See, every time you lose an interceptor, you don't have the money to replace it. You can see there's no interceptors in the Protoss production tab. Keep an eye on that production tab. When he engages here with these carriers, you need to be making 6 or 7 interceptors at a time, otherwise you're losing them. Okay, so he's denying this, and he's spreading the units around. This is very clever. So if he picks and he makes them move out of position, then he's going to move these units down here. Protoss cannot defend both positions at once. It's impossible. So he's moving back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And so Terran is just moving back and forward. So he's going to come here and finish this off from both sides. Then that base is toast. You see he's making 3 interceptors. He can't make more. And now here he's going to move in and kill this base. It just comes down to the fact that Terran has more. Would have come. You don't want to come down this narrow ramp. Although both is probably fine. So that Arconist pathing is just strayed, super tilting. Okay, so here we go. From both angles, should be able to bring his units down and end the game because Suri can't make more interceptors. You could siege his tank up if you wanted to. Oh. I think he has 4 on board with this one, 3 on board with this one. Carriers carry 8 interceptors. These are all less than optimal. He's got them on top now. This carrier's got nowhere to go. He's just got too many Goliaths, no money, can't replace the interceptors. He's building arbiters. I think just because he's got the gas for it. But that is going to be it. What an epic game this was. So we had an arbiter early game attack. We had a hell of a good push early that Manadog did brilliantly to hold. We had a carrier transition which I think Manadog scouted beautifully. He got a critical mass up in terms of Goliaths, and that was enough to pull him across the line. We're not GGing here. Why aren't we GGing? Are we going to use our fierce arbiters to cannon these guys or what? You know, arbiters have a vicious attack cannon. I think I think it's called Tickle, and it's got like 10 damage or something per shot, and it shoots 1 shot every 12.5 seconds. So it's a real cracker. Why are you killing your pylon? Then get out. This one Dragoon is going to go and kill all of these Goliaths, man. And now these guys are gonna fight with Peter, and he's running away. Nope, you're not gonna get it. Peter got away, sneaky boy. Oh, the DT's gonna do it. That's it. Where the hell is he standing? There he is. Zeratul has flown in from Aya, and he's like, guys, I got this. Don't worry, it's looking bad, but I got my sword, got my cape, and I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna kill all these Goliaths. Don't worry about these science vessels. They can't see me. I'll move too fast for them. Oh, Arbiter dead. Zeratul dead. GG. That was an epic game. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon.